services for the test environment. So I'll wait for this deployment to go out there. Now our services Java jar now is larger because I had to update the AWS SDK, which pulled in another 50 megabytes of just trash. God, fuck Amazon and their fat jar files. So now I gotta wait like an extra 20 seconds to deploy, just because they're lazy bastards. And I could set up a whole dependency resolution system for all that trash, but there's no reason to do so. So let's wait for this guy to boot up. Everyone has issues with the cloud. Exactly. Stupid Amazon. That was always one of the funniest things about working at places, and you're trying to scale up some Amazon stuff, such as with the Maelstrom launch. Unable to register itself as endpoint error. It should register itself pretty soon. Heart beating, TCP client, doing that. But basically, the cloud is not as scalable as you would think. Like Maelstrom was launching, and it's like, all right, we need some more game servers. All right, cool. We need 5 game servers. Not that many. All right, let's get them. Oh, we're at our service limit of 20. Okay, so just increase the service limit. Oh, that's going to take 3 days. What? It's like, I'm sorry guys, we're out of cloud. Like, I thought, isn't that the whole point? The cloud can scale. They're like, oh yeah, it can scale. It's just we're out of the scaling part. What? We're not out of cloud, we're at our limit. Fucking clouds, man. How do they work? It's one of those where people just don't understand. Just because it's in the cloud doesn't mean there's not limits on absolutely everything you can do. It just means you can spend a lot more money a lot faster on something. It has nothing to do with it being able to scale to infinity. It has to do with we're willing to take your money and we can do it just faster than we used to be able to do it. And you can't hold us liable if you fuck it up. Like, oh, we'll leverage the power of the cloud. It'd be like, yeah, that's right. We'll have a whole bunch of servers here, and we'll dole out as many as we feel like doling out. And if something's wrong with it, you gotta fix it. Because we're just gonna say it's gonna run kind of... You know, it's like... It's kind of like if you get a classically hosted server. You're out of cloud juice. Yeah, watch yourself, buddy. You're looking to get banned. Talking about juice. Everybody knows that guava juice library for Java is a pile of trash. You start evangelizing for it, I'm gonna have to kick you out of the channel. Those are actual libraries, by the way. I'm not just making that up. Kind of like how there's a Tinder library for Java, which is not the app. It's actually a chat. It's a chat library for XMPP, based back a while ago. Many years ago, it was written, and I integrated it with some of the services at Amazon. So it's always like, yeah, I'm integrating Tinder with our build server, and just like, what the fuck? It's like, nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Just swipe left or right based on the builds, and it'll promote them to prod. You just have to go in chat and type promote build. Alright, so the configs got written, the service got deployed, we now have our service for our arbitrary game data storage stuff. So I need some enums here for our game, which is going to be our blob context or something like that. Alright, so we're going to have none. We're going to have, what other blobs? We're going to have our cutscene data. We're going to have our mission data blob. That should be enough for now. And then we need our game objects for our persistence, right? So in order to make this, I need something that can be serialized to JSON and back. Should this be in our platform objects? Probably. So why don't we keep it in the platform objects? So we have our game blob, but we also have our... I mean, can we take ustructs and put them into JSON? Let me just take a look at what I've got for that. JSON object to ustruct. So we can take an out struct. So ustruct to JSON object to ustruct. Yeah, so we could totally turn these things in there. So I can just put this in the game objects, as opposed to this thing. I can put it in game objects for the game. That allows me to use things like enums and the rest of this crap that I can't use on the platform side. Okay, so cutscene information, let's do that. So name, this is going to be cutscene blob. Variables, what are we going to have in our cutscene blob? We should have our cutscene data. Type is going to be something. We'll just name it cutscene data. So what should our cutscene data have? It should have a cutscene context if we've seen it, if it is locked, and we should have the name of the cutscene. So it's gonna have let's do CTX scene locked and CS name. Default is false. Locked is default to true. CSCTX is default to nothing, and CSName defaults to nothing. This is an array of cutscene data objects. So that's our cutscene blob. Persistence for missions is all these. Can you see the server config file? You read the wiki, you probably need to see someone else's custom file. So that's my server config. And my playlist config looks like that. So stuff like that. The main things to check is that you've got the right map path, and then for your playlists, that the playlist you have set here is the playlist that you actually want it to use, and that playlist exists. So if you make a new playlist inside of here, make sure that you use it in the playlist config. And make sure you got your server key, but that should be pretty simple. I'm sure Karakan will send you hers. I think hers is probably more put together than mine is. Mine's real bare bones there, so nothing too crazy. And I should update the wiki, shouldn't I? Left team and right team and balanced teams are not documented, and they're pretty important. So let's see, I need to log in as the wiki admin. Let's go to that server setup. Oh man, the other thing I really hate is how Windows 10 doesn't start with you going to my computer. It goes to like the recent files thing, which I think is the most troll bullshit ever from Microsoft, because all those recent files are just asking for family embarrassment. You know, like, do you want to figure out what type of porn your dad likes to look at? Awesome. Just open up the recent files, always as default. That's not going to cause any problems ever. It's real easy to change, though. You have to know where to change it. But it's one of those where you're just like, please, for love of God, do not put that as a default. You're just asking for it. Alright, so we got that. These are blobs and all that trash. Auto balance bots. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. What I want to do is go to the enums, and here we go. This setting will automatically balance the teams of a match with bots to fill up to keep the sides same number. Okay, so the other thing is we've got left bots and right bots. Set this to have a minimum count for a side. This will spawn bots to reach the left bot's number. So if you have a number of bots set to 2 and a player joins that side, it will only spawn 1 bot. Anything else? Less ball bones? No, that's everything. Alright, there we go. Wiki has been updated. Okay, so we have cutscene data, which has these cutscene data array for the cutscene blob. Alright, the next thing that we need is the mission blob, which is going to have our mission data. Do we have a mission data object? Doesn't look like it, so we can go ahead and make one. Alright, so a mission data array. And what do we need for mission data? We need mission name. We need to know if we've completed it. We need to know our best stat, and we need to know our best duration. So best stat is going to be a float, I believe. Same with best duration. Completed, if we've completed it or not. And we also need our best tier. And that's going to be our tier. Such. Best tier should be none. Probably shouldn't be none. Do we have a tier then? Fail, none. Like none is you actually passed it. Alright, well I can just put it as none for now. No. I need an actual... I guess the default should be fail. No, because that's wrong. Alright, we'll have to add another thing here, which is unpassed. Like, nothing. How about that? None and nothing. Fuck, that's stupid. No, we'll just rely on the if you've passed it or not Boolean. Best stat, best duration. Is there anything else that we need to know here? Zeros and zeros, mission data array is good to go. Alright, so we're fine here. So let's generate our objects. Spain is falling off the map. That's what's happening. Don't worry about it. We have an error in our syntax, probably a forgotten comma. What line? Exception for templating use C. Alright, so what's this pissed off about? It's pissed off about the integer CS name, which is not an integer, it's a string. Oblivion. I thought you were a dragon. Dragons can fly away. You'll be fine. Just talk to Idris Elba. You know, the apocalypse was canceled. That's what I heard. All right, so we need a data manager thing, which is going to hold our information and load it from the platform. Not canceled. We are postponing the apocalypse. No, you never seen Pacific Rim? He cancels the apocalypse, and then the monsters come back later again in Pacific Rim 2, but that's for other reasons. God, Pacific Rim 2 sucked. God. Like, I don't know how you screw that up. Like, it's not supposed to be a good movie. Like, all they had to do in Pacific Rim 2 is have more robots punching the shit out of each other. Like, more one-on-ones. Like, people don't want to watch, like, a big... Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane is a good movie. Mainly because it's actually a movie. But the Pacific Rim 2 thing, basically, they had like this one big monster, like 5 mechs, you know, beating the crap out of it. And if you know anything about big ass monster movies, it's not about the robots that beat the critters. It's about the critters being cool. You know, like nobody gives a shit about, you know, your big ass robots. They all look the same. Just go to Transformers. The cool thing about monster movies is the gigantic monsters are cool. And they can be nasty and slimy and have all sorts of broken ass abilities. And that's what they're supposed to be. But the robots are supposed to be just the same fucking robots. Like, how does Power Rangers work, right? Like, you have 200 million different critters that come in and get their asses kicked by the same Megazord with the same stupid ass moveset. If they had a new Megazord every week, there'd be no continuity. It wouldn't make any sense. So what they should have done in Pacific Rim 2 is had just more 1v1 fights, and they should have done the same shit where they have the one mech with the one people we actually like come in and kick everyone's ass after a while. And you want to watch the... You know, you need... That's the whole thing with anime, is you need people who just go up there and job. You know, you need your Vegeta going out there getting his ass kicked by every single person ever to set up for the real fight. That's what you're supposed to do. And it's formulaic and kind of everybody knows what's going to happen, but you don't go watch a movie like Pacific Rim expecting deep thoughts and emotions or something. You watch it to see some monster get its ass kicked, but it needs to be a cool monster. We need to care about the ass that is about to be served. That's important. But getting back to 10 Cloverfield Lane, I really liked that movie. When I watched it the first time, I just took it back to the start and watched it again. Because I was like, yeah, this is cool. I want to watch it again, but now I know all what's going on. See if I can see anything cool. And if you just watch 10 Cloverfield Lane, you should go watch the Cloverfield Paradox. If you liked the Cloverfield Lane. I wish they had more sci-fi movies like that weren't just stupid. You know, like it. You know, we need more actual science fiction shows instead of just bullshit science fiction shows. I liked Plinkett's scale of science fiction. Let me see. See if they actually have an image of that. Yeah, I think this is the Plinkett's scale of science fiction movies, which is either your science fiction movies are incredibly boring and all that sort of shit, where they're just absolute, just forever, everything is slow as hell, but it's supposed to make sense and be awe-inspiring, or they're supposed to be, action slugfest. And I definitely like more of the boring ass things. Like probably my one of my favorite science fiction movies is the '80s Dune. The old ass one with Patrick Stewart and all the ridiculous ant costumes. Just because it's so boring, but they like build everything up to be awesome. Like they've tried to remake that so many times and be like, no, you're missing it. You're missing what makes it cool is that it's actually like fucking boring. Like that's your that's your whole thing. It's about world building and storytelling, right? It's not about everything blowing the hell up. It's about thinking about like how would interstellar travel work and politics work if there was a space emperor dude and there's, the Saudi oil baron dudes in jars that come around and tell the emperor to shut his face and they control everything. Yeah, the novel is gigantically long. So I need a data manager thing that's going to load the blobs up and store them and do all that trash. So let's see, where is that going to go? It should go inside of managers, and we have a data manager, but that's like asset data. So I think we need a profile. So why don't I just open the data manager? That is a U object, right? No, of course not. Let's actually just copy the game utils into manager's profile. And this is going to be Dashkin profile manager. And this will be the thing that holds our data. I think the other thing is Cloverfield Paradox is only available on Netflix, I believe. Yeah, I think that was the best part of that movie is that they didn't ruin the whole thing in terms of like I think the best part of that is you kind of knew exactly what was going to happen. Like you knew you at your first hunch about like what the hell's going on is completely accurate. Spoilers if you haven't watched it. And then they spend the entire movie convincing you that you're wrong. That your first reaction is bullshit, and then they come back and they're like, "No, your first reaction is incredibly accurate, and it's worse." It's just like, oh fuck. Is this for real? And some people either I think some people hated that from the reviews of it. But those people are stupid, and I don't give a shit about their opinions. Alright, so this is the profile manager, which is excellent. So let's go ahead and add this to our game instance. So we can actually go snag it. Movies need to watch out they don't deceive their viewers too much. Yeah, I guess. Also, welcome back, sir. Alright, so UI events and all that sort of stuff, gameplay utils, platform manager setup. Alright, so after that we will do our new object, new Dashkin profile manager. And that'll be our thing. We'll call startup on it. Come on, I hit Control F. Shut down. Let's see. So if I'll call shutdown on you as well. All right. Let's also have a Git profile manager. So we'll have a fetch profile manager function there. And we'll need a startup and a shutdown command here. So profile manager needs to be implemented. Startup and shutdown. And we'll build that out. Let's make sure everything builds. You watched Baby Driver last night? Yeah. Well, I haven't seen that movie. Should I go watch that at some point? So it's about driving cars? Alright, cool. Alright, maybe I should watch that then. I'll kill the stream and go watch it. I'll just pull it up on stream and get my channel shut down. Oh man, looks like I try to follow the playoffs for the NBA. Use of undefined type, Dashkin profile manager. Yeah, I need to include that, don't I? And that also means I need to change the build CS file to include that folder. R comes after L in the alphabet, right? They didn't screw that up in Australia, at least, I hope. But I try to follow the NBA playoffs, and the Cavs are dominating the Raptors, as they should, which is cool. Pre-controversy, Kevin Spacey. Yeah, jeez. That's definitely... Oh, I haven't seen Infinity War yet either. I should go do that. The only problem is my sleep schedule has been super screwed up, so I haven't been awake during reasonable hours. But if I stay awake, I could actually go do that today if I really wanted to. But it is also kind of funny, like how. Yeah, good luck going and watching House of Cards now. Just being like, man, Kevin Spacey, I'm not gonna watch this anymore. Ruined. Cosby Show, ruined. Everything's ruined. At least Tom Hanks is still a good person. He's still got that going on. You still got Tom Hanks and Keanu Reeves are still nice people, right? As soon as they fall off the truck, then we're all fucked. Oh man, they got like a 10 in the morning showing. I should go do that because I have nothing better to do with my life. Nobody will be there. Louis C.K. Yeah, exactly. Potted plants ruined forever. I mean, that's the lesson from 2018, right? Never apologize. If you if you've been doing some stupid crap and all that, never apologize. Never say anything. Just call them fake news and keep going on. It works every time. But as soon as you apologize, you're at fault for everything. So remember, if you're a psychopath, stay the course. You have no other options. Alright, so we'll get this built up. The profile manager basically is going to need to... Do we have events for when we log in? Because when we log in, we'll kick off a profile load. It should actually be part of logging in, most likely, as we don't actually finish logging in as your player until we've loaded your game data from the back end. That's probably the right plan. Just, yeah, so when it does the login flow, it actually part of that is authenticating, blah, 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 and then boom, game data is all set up. We should just do it that way. So that way there's no race conditions or any of that crap. It's just like if you finish the login flow, your game data is loaded. Done. Though I don't think my opinion of Louis C.K. changed that much with all that, to be honest, because he was always like a real gross person to me. So when all that came out, I was like, he's still funny, and I could imagine him doing all those horrible things and being a total jackass. Like that's who he is. I never had any other impression. It's like, you're a really fucked up person. Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, I can. Your jokes are funny. They're about slavery and horrifying things. So I mean, there you go. It kind of goes with the cards. Be like, if it came out that I don't know much. Like, it came out that Lewis Black just took like a whole bunch of drugs and was addicted to painkillers and an alcoholic. I'd be like, yeah, I kind of figured he was that. Yeah, he always talked publicly about what a creep he was. As long as you're honest about it. I don't know. And if anybody has any misconceptions about how screwed up Hollywood is, just go read some books. How many drugs are they on? All of them? I didn't even know that drug existed. How do these people get all these drugs? Oh yeah, they're just given them. That's like the I really like the Whitest Kid You Know skit where the guy is being brought into the entertainment industry. And they're like, all right, so you're going to need to wear these robes and show up at these secret meetings, and we're going to need to videotape you with an underaged individual as blackmail material. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, sure, of course. Oh, that's great. I'll be part of the blood sacrifice. It's fine. And he gets onto the questions about, filming blackmail material. He's like, do I have to actually come in? Like, if I already have a copy of this sort of thing, can I just give that to you? And they're like, no, you have to come in. He's like, oh, okay. Such a hassle. The restart didn't help with the I'm assuming that's going to be the Adobe crashes that you're suffering through. Everything is screwed up. Well, situation normal in. Alright, so we're going to need some sort of stuff here. Need a I think we'll need some events here for when the information is available. So should I put that in my UI events? Yeah, I think I should put that in the UI events. So let's just go to our Dashkin events. Game data events. You're on a forced break? What? Every PS is down. What's the damage? All right, let's see. So this will be on user profile changed. On user profile. Oh, we got other things, don't we? It's not just the user profile. All right, we'll just have on user profile changed, and we'll actually have no arguments. Yeah. And we'll want the on cutscene data changed, on mission data changed, on cutscene profile data changed, on mission profile data changed. Those structures might be a little large, so the event is not actually going to include the information. It's just going to, there is information. It's going to be what it says. All right, let's have a bool here, has loaded profile. We're going to want a function that grabs our information. So we're going to want our mission data. So get mission profile data. The pointer to that data as well, and we'll need the cutscene data. Get cutscene profile data and cutscene profile data pointer. This will be profile. Cutscene data. So I think we need to include what? The shared objects. It should be inside of generated. Dashkin shared objects. .h. Some connection crashed. Only this one thing has to do at the moment. You really need a backup computer. It's not mine, and it's network here, so I do not have any of these issues at home, other than that Harmony works just fine here as well, as I'll probably understand this language better than others. Alright, Civic, thanks for sticking around and saying hello. Thank you. Have a good day, sir. Enjoy yourself. Or don't. You don't have to. I'm not going to try to impose happiness onto people who don't want it. Alright. I think I'm going to make these guys static for these two. Actually, these three. And I think for the events, I actually want a... No, I don't need anything. We'll be okay. Alright. I mean, these will probably want to be static too. I understand. Okay, so we can get the cutscene data. We need a set cutscene data. What are we going to do for these operations? Yeah, there's nothing worse than working on stuff and having work to do, but having the tools that are trying to get you going not functioning. Like, I think the most frustrating thing at Amazon when I was working there, besides, you know, the disgusting people, I'm going to repeat for post stage. You can copy paste a lot of that stuff. Their classes are pretty much the same. That also means I need to go through and do that same thing with the... No, I already did that, didn't I? No, I didn't. I'll have to go do that. Should probably do that shortly here. Why don't I just get this to a state and then go do that before I lose my train of thought. A lot of it's copy paste, so it's a lot easier to copy paste styles once you kind of already know what you're doing, so it shouldn't be too bad. But the everything should be pretty much the same. This is a mission data pointer. Alright, so let's comment these. Alright, so we should save that, let's generate our events. You'll try to get all the screens done this weekend. Excellent. Alright, let's reload this guy. Alright, so let's go to the pre-stage, start, quit. Here we go. That's what we want to look at. So what we want to do for this screen is... This is post stage, list line, foreground text. Alright, so we want to go to our CSS for post mission and grab this guy. Snag you. Alright, and we need to change our foreground JavaScript stuff. Well, I think that's all you have to change for that. There we go. So anyway, that should be pretty much set up then for you when you get to it next. And pretty much everything in the CSS here is nearly the same. So if I go to ranked here foreground text, right? Like if I put these guys right next to each other, you know, you can see that they're literally almost the same. The only difference is the stuff that you've changed, and everything here that's like post mission ranked here list line foreground is just post stage ranked here list line foreground over here. So to copy your style over, literally you should be able to just copy over stuff directly. So you shouldn't have too much of a problem porting it over and customizing it exactly how you would want it on this screen specifically. I'm gonna go grab some water. Well, I think a lot of the stuff with the UI there, I think a lot of it's kind of assuaged by that, you know, there's yeah, it just doesn't have to be perfect. And a lot of it's kind of rigged up, it looks like. So I think the big thing is just to, you know, get a basic thing out there, you know, a big iteration 1, and that'll be good enough to start with. Sample mission 6, yeah, that's too big there. Anyway. How big is this guy? It's looking kind of pixelated.